tapping my fucking foot. I don't think they can hear it as much.
Just don't tap it. It'd be really cool to not tap that foot.
Just my head explodes.
I would love that. Think of the views we would get if your head exploded. Me just like wiping off my chair and leaving the body.
Well, it's been real. I wish we had enough money for the special effects just to fake that. An exploding head.
You know what
is
wild?
Fabulous.
Would be a lot cheaper if we actually just like you put a stick of dynamite in your mouth.
Actually,
we could actually blow up your head.
We probably could find that pretty easily.
I think so. Well, Dalton,
when we end the podcast, we should end it in a dramatic fashion, like we fake our deaths or something.
We're gonna fake our deaths. You want to just improv us faking our deaths? You're gonna pretend to get shot or something. I'm gonna get confused and like pretend to get poisoned. We don't have any plan for that. Fake our deaths.
I think we're on to something.
You mean
here.
the very last episode of the podcast?
Like when we finally decide to retire? Yeah.
I thought you meant at the end of this podcast.
Well, then we'd be coming back to live next week, and it'd be a little confusing. No.
It would be funny, just like you're talking and I'm like being really cold, and I slowly pull out a gun and I'm looking at it, and then I look over at you, and it just cuts to black.
This isn't worth it anymore, or something like, I don't know.
Never has been. Never has been.
This is purely a hobby at this point.
So, we have been very busy, but this is news that we can't not talk about, and that is that Liver King's a fraud.
Oh, we're starting. Okay, that was our intro. What's up, folks? I don't know.
That's not our intro. This isn't a Mr. Beast video.
I know.
This is a podcast.
You really want to talk about Liver King, man. The guy that we have been looking up to since the beginning of our YouTube channel has finally
been exposed.
Failed. He's finally not lived up to our expectations.
For those who don't know, a YouTuber, More Plates, More Dates, came out with a video. Someone sent him leaked emails from when Liver King was getting started.
AKA Brian Johnson.
Yeah, Brian Johnson was getting started, just basically saying like his workout routine and the stack that he does, and what else he could be taking to get rid of some back fat. This person has such body dysmorphia. It's like pathetic, dude.
Liver King?
Yeah. Worse than that, he's a liar. And I cannot respect someone who lies.
It's tough, man.
Obviously, he was on steroids, but he's a fucking liar.
Yeah, I guess it's one thing to do it, but then to lie about it. But at the same time, his livelihood are these liver pills. So he can't fucking just tell everybody I'm on steroids, because then he's the poster boy for his liver pills.
And that's where it becomes, in my opinion, I haven't talked to you about this, but a lawsuit.
False advertisement.
In his after that video came out, Brian Johnson came out with an apology video where he admitted that he takes steroids, and he apologized. And he said, I never expected to blow up as big as I did. I never expected this thing to become what it was.
Right.
The very first paragraph of those leaked emails is him saying, look, I have this idea. I want to get 1 million followers. I think I can do it in X amount of months, and I'm going to blow up. So he totally expected to get as big as he did.
Right.
So he knew that the way to do it was to lie. And the way to sell the liver pills was to get big.
I don't know if telling people you didn't expect to get this big is a good excuse.
It's definitely not a good excuse.
No.
And here's where
I didn't expect to make all that money is really the excuse. Did you see the house I have? I didn't know that was going to
He started out his apology video with, I was rich before this, but I was anonymous. I'm still rich, but I'm not anonymous.
How were you rich
It's like,
before
no
this,
shit,
man?
you're fucking anonymous.
Wasn't he like an electrician or something? Like, I mean, how was he?
No, his story is that he sold dentistry equipment.
Oh, that's
His
right.
wife was a dentist.
That's right.
And then I think he holds some patents on a couple things too. And he had this big business where he was he created like a dentist office that was all in one, where he was able to do x-rays there and everything.
Sure.
He was wealthy beforehand. But the thing is that I listened to a lawyer comment on this whole thing.
Ooh.
Someone from California. And the guy was saying, look, the thing is, I don't know the rules in Texas, but if you're selling pills online, you have to abide by every state law that you're selling to. And here's why he violated California state law. Because he was false advertising, telling you to get a body like this, you just need to take liver pills and live ancestral.
Yeah, it's just tenets. You
know what's fucking crazy? Everybody...
Was that a part of the tenets?
Do you remember when we put out a couple Liver King videos making fun of it, and there were so many ride or dies for that fucker that are like, he's not on steroids, you guys are just fat and lazy.
I know. There's so many people that would diss us.
And
like,
now that he's outed, those same people are like, well, obviously he was on steroids, but his message is good. Fuck off.
Well, I think the biggest argument they have now is, yes, he did steroids, but you don't get that big by just doing steroids.
Of course.
You also have to do hard work. The guy is a workhorse, but it's the lying. It's the lying.
Nobody's upset that he did steroids, because obviously, like you guys are saying, he was on steroids. The issue is that he was selling a lifestyle and claiming to be natural.
It's like, how many like weak people did you take advantage of that thought, oh my God, I could do that, I could be that with some fucking liver pills?
That's another thing that I find to be really messed up, because in his apology video he said, this has all been about suicide prevention. These are for the people that kill themselves every day. These are the people that attempt to kill themselves every day. I just wanted to show them that there's more to life and like there's a better way to live. But here's the fucking thing. You're taking advantage of people's body dysmorphia. You're telling people that if they're thinking of committing suicide, then they can work out and be like you. But they can't be like you because they need to take steroids to be like you. Like, you are contributing to the problem. You are not tough. Some advocate for suicide. I'm sorry.
That's tough.
You're a fucking liar. And that's what it boils down to me. You're a fucking liar. And it's embarrassing, and you should be ashamed and fuck off.
He's angry.
I hate liars.
I guess we're not buying any liver pills now.
You know what's crazy? I am all natural, motherfucker. I am way more ancestral than Liver King. When we did the tenants video, I was already doing tenants.
You really were like already doing half
subconsciously. And now it turns out that I'm even more primal than Liver King.
I mean, if you would have had a pair of blue glasses, you would have been already like 100%.
That's true. That's true. And you know what's... I do have UV glasses.
Oh, you're already there, dude.
The next podcast, I'll wear them. I have them in my desk drawer.
Lord.
I have UV glasses.
See, we were hook, line, and sinker ancestors. We were. What's the word he always uses?
Primal.
Primal.
We were
subprimal. We were primal.
You know the ultimate subprimal act? Taking steroids. You fucking coward, loser, pussy.
Where's your subprimal steroid video?
So that lawyer that was talking about this was saying he definitely violated California law, and people who bought those liver pills thinking that they were going to look like him by just doing the things he said have a case for a class action civil suit.
Wow.
So if you bought liver pills, be on the lookout. I would say in the next 6 to 12 months, you'll probably get an email from someone doing a class action.
Dude, I've always wanted to get in on those free class actions where you see on TikTok where you just fill it out and get $10.
Oh man, I have an embarrassing story.
You did that? Oh
no.
Okay.
Recently, talcum powder was exposed. Have you heard about this?
No, I just heard of Pine Sol. It was the most recent one. You heard of Pine Sol?
Talcum powder has been shown to cause cancer or something.
Sure.
You're not supposed to use it. And when I was in high school, I used to chafe really bad. And I would use talcum powder all over my fucking groin. And I was getting emails about talcum powder. I don't know how they knew I used it. Maybe it was just going out to everyone. But I'm sitting here thinking, how much cancer have I exposed my balls to?
me just having my fucking phone on my lap right now is probably enough.
Don't listen to
enough
that's a Liver
radiation
King
to-
shit. Liver King says don't keep your phone by your balls, and we know he's a fucking liar.
I'm always paranoid when I put my laptop even on my lap, because I even saw some guy on a TED Talk that was talking about that, and I'm just like, who fucking knows?
Now,
man? I don't know.
here's what I think. Testicular cancer is rarely deadly, right?
Sure.
Maybe, because they just cut out the nut.
Right.
One, I'm cool with that. I don't want to have kids. And two, if we could get an upgrade going, I want some fucking heavy weights in my sack. I want some low hangers.
I would just rather have none in there.
You want to be streamlined?
I don't want a sack that's hanging out that could just be hit at some point on accident.
Is it not attractive to have a really long sack? Because
you want to make it bigger. Okay.
I want to make it longer. Yeah, definitely. So I think the only way to do that would be to put like 5-pound lead balls in it to really
But then you'd never get through airport security. They'd always like, beep, beep. Sir?
What
is in your pocket?
It's my giant testicles. I have been through airport security where they do the scan thing.
Yeah.
And I've been stopped and I had to do a pat down because on the screen there was a big mass right here. And I was like, I was flattered.
You're like, I could pick that up too, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't know I could do that.
I promise it's not loaded. I made sure to clear the chamber before getting here.
Just don't talk about the weapons of mass destructions right now, right? So, my one random Liver King story, which is probably just reiterating all the shit we've talked about, but the organization I've done my professional jiu-jitsu matches is called Fight to Win, and the owner of the organization is named Seth. This guy's like a G. Like he's tatted up head to toe, drives around a nice classic muscle car, like. And he also just isn't afraid to tell you what the fuck he's thinking, you know what I mean? Just like, and even on his social media, just, whatever, just say some shit. And he, recently, this whole Liver King guy got big, and apparently Liver King was at one of the Fight to Win shows. And,
Okay.
And they told him he's like a celebrity, and so they let him like hang out backstage, and he met him, and he's like, I didn't know who this fucking guy was, but he had his shirt off backstage, which I thought was really weird. Like,
And he stunk like shit.
That's what he said. He said,
Yeah.
and he fucking smelled terrible.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. That's
One of the first TikToks he put out after getting exposed, he was wearing a shirt. Here's the thing. He doesn't have to fake anything anymore. He can put on a shirt, he can take a fucking shower, and he can wipe his ass.
no. You're already this deep, man. You're just gonna have to. This is the
This is his life now.
lifestyle you live.
So when we did the ancestral tenant video, there was only 9 tenants. But now there is a 10th tenant, and that tenant is to have fun. And he considers steroid use to fall within that 10th tenant. Have a little bit of fun. Have a little bit of fun. Just inject your shit with steroids.
If I feel like
That's
I feel like it would have been smarter to play it off as some sort of a healing means. Like, if you need to heal your body, because that's what I view steroids as. Like, I mean, I don't know. You can go. I guess you can view it many ways, but if I were to ever use them, it'd be because I want to heal up the fucking shit that if something is messed up in my knee or something.
Oh yeah. I've taken steroids for an eye one time. It was like drops.
Wow.
I cut my cornea, and to heal it, there were these steroid drops that went into my eye.
Right.
I don't know.
It's not like I'm against steroids.
I'm not against steroids at all.
Right.
I wish he would have come out saying I'd take steroids, but I also eat
it's
liver
just-
because it's still fucking weird, and we still would have talked about it. You know what I mean?
It would have been cool too if he would have had like a pre-steroid and an after-steroid phase. Like, hey, this was me, and I was taking all my shit, and this is how big I was, but once I got on the roids, I gained another 30, 40 pounds.
That was something he said on a podcast. He said, one of the guys asked, are you natural? And that's when he said, you know what, there's a 10th ancestral tenet that says have fun. And I always thought to myself, first of all, I am natural, obviously. I'm very natural. I don't even know how to buy the stuff. But if I have thought about taking it, because imagine how much bigger I would be if I took it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Obviously,
he used it as an excuse.
Yeah, for sure.
That's funny.
I think that, yeah, dude, he just lied. I think it would have been no problem if he would have been as popular as he was now. Because he's a weirdo. He's always got his shirt off. He's screaming primal. He stinks like shit. He eats raw liver. That is still something we would have watched, and
right.
Our video wouldn't have changed at all.
Well, to be honest, I don't think this is even really going to hurt his rep too much at all, unless he really gets sued. Like, he might personally be fucked.
Well, it has already hurt his rep. If you go to his TikTok right now,
they're just
all of the comments are just shit talking.
I guess he's lost all trust in
He
people.
was spending, this is something we haven't mentioned, he was spending $12,000 a month on steroids.
Is that average?
I have no idea. Actually, I don't know. That might be low. No, that sounds insane. Of course that.
Yeah.
I don't see guys.
That sounds like professional bodybuilder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Level.
Yeah.
Not like I kind of hurt my knee and I need to heal up a little bit.
It's so sad too, because in that email, he was very self-conscious about the little bit of back fat he had. It's like, dude, you are like a sculpted god.
I've heard him say stuff like that. Like, I don't know if it was...
In his apology video, he talked about his low self-esteem.
Yeah. I saw this one excuse where it was like, if I was on PEDs or if I, did plastic surgery, wouldn't I take away my love handles or something like that?
Yeah.
Something like that. Everybody, I mean, whatever, man. I also can't even imagine what it's like to be on that level of where he created this character. Brian Johnson became Liver King at some point. You know what I mean? For real, like it was
premeditated to the point where that initial email he sent out that got leaked he was already calling himself Liver King, and this was before he was on social media at all. And that's the other part. He claims he didn't know it was going to blow up. He hired a full-time producer to live in his guest house and a media team to film 7 days a week. Wow. He wrote that in the email. He's like, I'm going to blow up on social media. I know I will. I've invested a lot into doing so. You
know what he should do is he should join the WWE crew. That's the life he belongs.
That would be cool.
Him and the roid heads.
Yeah. He's already got a persona.
He's got a character already. Yeah. The Liver King. He's backstage eating liver before the matches. Yeah. Dude, I'm sure they've tried to contact him already, but there's a lot of money in that, man.
For sure.
Except, you know what? The problem is they run those people like year round to all these fucking shows and stuff, I suppose.
This is when he'll be doing the WWE circuit. After the class action lawsuit.
He's like, oh, fuck, I need some money,
He's drained. He's going to be doing WWE for sure.
Definitely.
Speaking of characters.
Actually, speaking of a guy that's doing WWE that's at a turn of careers, I think I might have told you about Cain Velasquez in a podcast a long time ago, because he went to prison for apparently like this dude like raped his daughter and he chased him down
with a gun
in the car and shot at him and potentially hurt him. He's out on bail right now.
Okay.
And the first thing he did is there's like videos of him doing like a lucha libre wrestling match. He's got a mask on and everything. You know what I mean?
Fuck?
I mean, this is an ex-UFC champion.
That's so weird.
I mean, obviously,
he's broke now.
He needs money. Yeah. My whole UFC career went on that bail.
Dude, that's nuts.
Actually, to tell you the truth, what's crazy about that, I heard the bail was paid by the fans. I heard all the fans came together and paid his bail. Because there's a lot of people that had free Cain T-shirts and that believed that he was doing something heroic because this guy came after his daughter.
Yeah.
Even though like you can't be endangering other people, bro. Like you're chasing a person in a car with a gun.
Yeah.
What if you would have killed somebody else on accident?
Right.
Sketchy. I don't know. He's probably not going to do too much time. I'm sure he'll do a couple of years or something, but who knows? We'll see. Random story. The other thing, random thing. Oh, did you have a story? I kind of interrupted you.
Oh, I was just going to bring up Kanye West. That's another thing we haven't really talked about. Everyone's talking about him right now.
I don't know if we're capable to dive deep into the intellect of Kanye.
The genius of Kanye. He makes a lot of good points. I'm kidding, of course, but this is something I was hearing my neighbor say. I
just heard him talking about Jewish people. I actually have no idea what the story is. I actually haven't researched this at all. It's just another Kanye story that I just kind of...
Yeah, we don't have to talk about it much, but he was on InfoWars with Alex Jones. And
the only thing I heard was about he already got kicked off of Twitter. Did you hear about this story?
Yeah. Well, he like martyred himself or whatever. He like self-sacrificed or some shit.
He got back on. They're like, okay, you're back on.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech. And then the first thing he does is put like a swastika or something in his Twitter.
Okay, that's a weird story because what he did was he took the Star of David and he put a swastika inside of it as like he's like joining those two things together. And the picture of that it's a screenshot of that picture in a Photoshop thing. And he's claiming he designed it. He did not design that, people. This is going to blow everyone's mind. Oh. There is a sex cult in like the Philippines, and that is their symbol. He took... Not a lot of people know this. I've not seen this talked about anywhere.
I haven't, no. I mean, I totally believe it because he's... of course he'd lie about that.
Yeah.
Obviously.
He did not design that symbol, and... after he put that symbol out, Elon like DM'd him and asked him like, "Look, man, please take that down." And then he tweeted out a picture of Elon Musk. You know that picture of Elon on the boat getting hosed down?
Oh, I don't remember. I haven't seen it.
Oh my God, that for the people who are listening, I'll throw it on screen. But he with the tweet. But he posted that and he said something like, I want this to be forever known as my last tweet or something like that. And it's just like fat, pale Elon getting hosed down.
I just saw a tweet that I don't even know if it's fucking real or fake anymore, but the tweet that I saw was like, who made you, Kanye's saying something like, who made you god of social media or something, and then Elon Must reply to that was like, fuck around and find out. But I don't
that is true.
Did that happen?
Elon did type in the initials for fuck around and find out.
Right.
And who made Elon king of social media? Elon did. Yeah. Elon paid
when he bought it.
Elon paid a lot of money for that, and he sacrificed his entire career because now his board members are trying to kick him out as CEO of Tesla.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why
he's the one that is fucked around, and he's finding out right now.
That's why my Tesla stock's so low right now.
It is, yeah. Tesla is tanking, and it's mainly tanking because of how many shares Elon himself is selling. Elon has sold billions in shares this past month.
Yeah.
To help pay for his little Twitter endeavor.
It's losing money. Interesting, man. Well, let's see what happens there. The other thing I want to talk to you about today too was since you have a 3D printer, I saw this Vice story, which I know we've maybe dabbled in talking about this a little bit, but the documentary was about ghost guns.
Oh yeah,
being printed out on 3D printers, and like I knew that people were kind of printing out 3D guns, but to my own like dumb knowledge, I just thought they were just like shitty little guns that probably didn't really work that well. But like, come to find out, you order a couple of metal parts.
Yeah, you need the metal parts, otherwise it's a one-shot gun and it explodes itself.
You order a couple of metal parts and then you can 3D print whatever gun you want. And and there's people that are like clubs that have their own little design clubs, and they get together with their new gun designs and stuff, and there's a lot of cool stuff about this. Like, I'm like super intrigued, but then there's all this, you know, counterculture argument about like, well, now we have more unregulated guns. And I thought that was interesting, like, that, you know, there's no serial numbers on these. The government doesn't know about it. Potentially somebody that had their rights taken away for a felony or something now could go this route. Which, you know, there's also the arguments, like, if they really want to just commit crime and do these things, they're going to find the gun regardless from somebody else. Or so, I don't know. I just thought it was a really interesting debate, and what could happen in the future. Like, we're gonna have even more guns on the on the streets, you know, and I mean, who knows? It's a crazy debate people have in America.
There is a gun story that happened recently in Colorado Springs. You heard about this?
I don't know.
You haven't heard about this one?
Maybe not.
The kid who shot up the gay bar?
Oh, yeah, that was a crazy.
Okay, obviously there's nothing funny to say about that, except the news crew interviewed this guy's dad. Have you seen this interview?
No.
Holy shit. This was the most insane interview I've ever seen in my life. The dad is like some fucking meth head who has done porn. Like, you can find his porn. He's some fucking weirdo.
You can literally find it.
And the news crew has came up to him and was like, immediately, like, you know, your son shot up this thing, blah, blah, blah. And the dad's telling the story, and he says, oh, man, when they told me my son had gotten involved in something at a gay bar, I said, he's not gay, is he?
Oh,
and they told me, no, he was involved in a shooting there. He was shooting the place up. And I just breathed a sigh of relief, because I didn't raise someone to be gay. And I was like, holy shit.
They should be condemning this guy.
Yeah.
You're the reason these fucking kids got shot up. Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's the guy who shot the gun, but
he was definitely raised in a house where
thinking this is not right, and literally to the point where you're brainwashed and you think that these people don't deserve to be on this earth, which is so sad. I mean, that's a terrible, terrible thing.
Yeah.
Mental health, man. I think about that shit all the time, about the people's upbringings, man. Like, it's sad.
Did you hear about how that guy got stopped?
I don't know. I don't think
One of the patrons of the bar was, I think he's ex-military. He was there. He tackled the guy. He got the rifle out of his hands. Rifle skids across the ground, right?
Jesus.
He's like, he's got him down on the ground. And the guy starts reaching for a pistol.
Yeah.
And the military guy takes the pistol from him and just starts bashing him in the face with it.
Fuck,
I was like, fuck yeah.
You gotta get a fucking medal or something.
Yeah, it's nuts. I don't know, like, how you think quickly enough in that situation to take the pistol from him and not shoot him in the fucking head. You know what I mean? Like, because if the adrenaline's going and you're fearing for your life,
well, maybe,
and you get your hands on the gun, I don't know how, like,
you know, though, but
he could have quickly ended it, but he had like the foresight to not do. He just beat the shit out of the guy.
That's the thing, is like, I think it was probably a good thing he had a military background, because he had enough wherewithal in the situation to know, I don't need to kill this guy at this point.
Exactly.
And he's getting what's coming to him, or, you know, who knows? I mean, who knows, man? Crazy, man. I can't imagine being in that situation. I've been in a brawl or two in my life, but never anything with a gun involved. And I did tell you, you know, I was literally in a situation last week where somebody was shot through a window at the McDonald's that I was right next to, and I heard it. It scared the shit out of me. And I'm hearing like some yelling, but I didn't see anything, and I just like got back in my truck and like went around the block, and then I started seeing all these cop cars roll in, and, you know, looked at the news next day and found out about what happened.
Right.
And, well, actually, to tell you the truth, I was doing this delivery for Instacart, and the lady I was trying to deliver to, I was on the wrong side of her building, and she said she saw the entire thing. And I'm coming around the building to find her, and all these cop cars start rolling in, and she asked me if I saw it, and I was like, no, I just heard people, shots and yelling, and for all she thought, it was probably me, trying to get around, find her, I'm not, because we were talking, I'm on the wrong side. She's like, oh, for some reason GPS sends people the other side. I don't know why. Oh, whatever.
She thought the gunshot was you killing yourself because you couldn't find the place. I'm so frustrated.
I can't deal with this anymore. So, to end our little gun conversation, I think I'm going to be on the market for. I've never purchased a gun. The last years of my life, I've been in a relationship where my girlfriend did not want one, and now I'm highly motivated. And not only that, but a conceal to carry maybe too, man.
One, I will go with you to help get a gun because I'm looking at a new one, and then
maybe
two,
we'll film a video about it.
As soon as you're doing your concealed carry, I've been meaning to get mine here.
In
Arizona, you didn't need one, but here you do.
I don't know.
This liberal cuck state.
That's weird too, because it's super liberal out here. I've seen crazy videos of dudes owning an entire militia of weapons. How does that work? You gotta keep registering those every other year. You got 500.
You don't need to
guns?
register guns here.
You don't. Okay.
Well, the registration is done at the time of purchase. It's not a renewal. It's not like a car registration where you have to register it every year.
Is that? And I don't mean to sound dumb. Is that like that in all of America, or is it state to state like that?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I kind of heard that's kind of some of the gun debate is if you want to have these guns, maybe you should at least register them every couple years. But I don't know.
I don't know, because in Arizona there's a lot of gun shows, and that is same day, and that is cash, and that is peer-to-peer transactions. So when you go into a gun store. I bought guns at gun stores, and they take my license, and they call up someone and do a background check on me. But at the gun shows, it's like me selling you a gun. I'm not doing a background check on you.
I was that Vice documentary I was telling you about the ghost guns getting printed. The little group of people that were designing all these guns and getting together and showing them off. The guy organizing it was an ex-cop, and he was a big advocate for printing these guns out, which I thought was interesting. And obviously the reporter doing the story was kind of asking the kind of questions that are on debating this kind of argument. And the ex-cop, well, first of all, he's helping this reporter build a gun through the whole process of the interview.
Hell yeah.
They're printing it, and then they put it together, and he's just asking questions the whole time, which I thought was hilarious.
How many children can this kill?
Oh, yeah.
Enough.
And he's like, okay, so it took us 4 hours. He's going through all the time. All right, within 20 hours, you could build a gun yourself, basically.
Yeah. You could probably build multiple in that time if you're printing them at the same time,
But anyways, I'm getting off track. The cop's interesting point was he said, here's the problem is we all want freedom, but freedom isn't safe. And I never heard somebody say that before.
Okay, that is just a cop trying to keep his own job. You know what I mean? If shit's dangerous, then we need cops. You know what I mean? He's like, no, trust me, you guys need me. Freedom's not safe. That's so fucking stupid.
I've never heard somebody say something like that, though.
I'm going to tell you about a book. It's called... what is it called?
Sounds like a good book.
Yeah, I wish I remembered the name of it. But it is essentially a lady who lived in Sweden or something. Finland, I don't know. But she had moved to America, and she was talking about, you Americans love your freedom, but you don't have any. And she's like, true freedom is paid time off, being able to leave whenever you want to. If you get sick, you don't have to worry about going bankrupt. Like, these are things that make you actually free to make decisions in your own life. Because here, you're a wage slave, and you can't take time off. And if you get sick, you're going to be paying on that for a few years.
You know, I heard a really interesting TikTok the other day of this guy who covers his face, and his big message is basically like, trust me, like, get out of America, and once you're out of that drama for a minute, you don't have to worry about American politics and what everybody's mad at, and you just really figure out what's fucking important in your life. And I thought it was a really interesting message, and how much time in my life I spent worrying about shit I didn't need to worry about, most of my life.
Me and Kelsey have really looked into teaching English as a foreign language in a different country.
I told you I met a couple that did this, right?
I think you may have, yeah. But that's how a lot of people get out and live abroad for a couple years,
When I went to Peru, we had to take a train to Machu Picchu. And in the train, you have to face a couple at a table.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Like, you know what I mean? We have to share a table and literally look at each other. And the train back, we had like these two old ladies that didn't even speak English, so it was the most awkward thing. But on the way up, we had two younger people that were our age, a little older, married, and they both played Pokemon Go, so like I got along with them great. But both of them were visiting Peru. They lived in Chile, and they taught English.
Did you guys hear that flare he put on Chile? Chile. God damn, that is a well-traveled man right there.
And I'm so cultured. And they taught English to people in China over the computer. But they also were both like, when they went to college to be a teacher.
Right.
And I think they also both had masters, which I don't know if you necessarily need that, but I just thought it was really interesting that they lived in California for a long time and just ended up ditching that for Chile, and talked about how rent was a third of the price or something for a fucking like house or something.
Yeah. Well, it's you don't need to have gone to school to be a teacher or have a master's as a teacher.
Sure.
You do something called a TEFL program, which is teach English as a foreign language.
Sure.
And once you get through that program, you can start applying to different countries.
I totally believe that. I imagine they went to college like everybody else because you thought you had to, and then probably thought they wanted to be teachers, but that ties you down, and then they probably realized like, fuck, I don't want to be tied down to this place, and I gotta have this boss, like, and all this other bullshit that's associated with being a teacher. I could just live cheaply in Chile, make the same amount of money, because they're making American dollars. You know what I mean? Like, they're not making Chilean whatever they are, I don't even know, pesos.
Probably a peso of sorts.
They're making American dollars out over there, and it gets stretched so much further. It's crazy. And then when I'm out here in Colorado trying to buy a quarter acre of land for $500,000, like, that little square lot, not even an acre, you want to charge how much?
Yeah, it's this is a very expensive state to live in. Real problem.
Nutty. Luckily, we have Andrew Tate. I don't know if you know this. I recently
the Muslim.
The Muslim he's Muslim now? Did he? Oh.
Yeah, he's Muslim.
There's a goose somewhere back there. You hear that?
He just converted to Islam.
I was scrolling through TikTok, and I don't know if people know this. Andrew Tate sells a business school, I guess, where he teaches you how to become rich. Yeah. And
it's called Hustlers University.
Hustlers University.
Yeah.
I forgot. Okay, yeah. So I came across a leaked Hustlers University where they had the first at least 10 chapters, sessions.
Yeah.
which conveniently fit into 2 or 3 TikToks. So each session was maybe 10, 15 minutes. I don't know.
And you're paying $50 a month to attend Hustlers University.
And I got the anyways. I wish I would have written them down. Like maybe I'll bring it up in the next podcast, or we'll have a video on it or something. But
I'd love to do a video on Hustlers University.
It cracked me up, man, because maybe 2 or 3 of them were like, yeah, I get it. Like that's definitely, you need to keep those things in mind to hustle, and like step 1 was speed. Do everything with speed. Don't procrastinate. And it even talked about like, if somebody came up to me and said that it's going to take them a week to do this thing, I tell them you have 2 days. I wish, that's a little extreme, obviously.
You
right?
have 2 days. Make it shitty, but get it done.
I know, right? There's a beautiful argument of I can get it done well, I can get it done fast, or I can get it done cheap.
Yeah.
And which one? If you want it done, cheap and fast, then it's not going to be good. If you want it done good, then it's going to be expensive and take a while.
Yeah.
There's always that argument. But anyways, the whole thing that really cracked me up about Andrew Tate's like road to success, it basically involves taking advantage of as many people as you can that you don't have to pay full price for. Okay?
Okay.
Whoever you can take advantage of. First of all, start with your family, obviously.
Yeah.
And go for the youngest ones or the most vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
You got to,
I can definitely see him employing like child workers.
Dude, that was the first thing. Like you need a website built. Get your little 12-year-old nephew who probably knows more about websites, and charge him $10 or whatever it was. Like, and like. One of he's got 10 different little chapters here, so I'm thinking this is interesting. He's got one of these talking about it, but then there was like 2 or 3 more where it basically employed these people again. Like, remember the nephew I was talking about before, and I have him do this too. So like you're just like,
if you want to build a business, just have everyone else build it.
That's the key, man. Get other people to build it for you, and really. Try not to pay them what they're worth. Dude, that's
kind of what he did with his OnlyFans empire, was like he just trafficked women into his house.
Yeah, that was one of his steps too, was he talked about.
Traffic women.
I mean, well, how he took advantage of them too, man. I mean,
he definitely did. Definitely did.
I can't remember what step or how he involved that story, but he totally talked about that. And I mean, basically, it was how to monetize his girlfriends.
Yeah.
How wild is that, right? Like, I have these beautiful women around. How can I make money off of them?
I've heard him say in a podcast that. He doesn't let them spend any of that money because it's his money.
Oh my God! But he just gets to keep.
He's like, I'll buy you, whatever you want, but you don't get the money. You don't get the decision to do with this money.
Oh wow!
So they can't ever get out and like get their own place or anything.
You have to live here. You have to. I will be your provider. That's the thing, though. That's his whole thing. Is like, you don't get to be the provider. I'm the provider.
Yeah.
He needs that.
Yeah.
He needs that.
Because just like everyone else we talk about, like Liver King, Andrew Tate, all these people are just like, they're deeply, deeply insecure men.
And now he's in this character. I mean, maybe he believed it to an extent or whatever, but now he is Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Whatever that
Andrew Tate,
is.
the Muslim.
He talks a lot about bullshit in America too, and getting out of here. But he usually his views are like how women think in other countries.
His views are what I'm doing isn't necessarily legal in America. He's talked about how he doesn't operate his cam girl business here because of he doesn't like the Me Too movement, and it's like, wow. What are you doing to these girls? What the fuck? Why? You can definitely run a successful cam business here.
Like I have to feed them or something. Like I don't know what.
Like I'm not allowed to just take what's mine. It's fucking weirdo, dude.
Wow, man. Maybe we're in the wrong industry. I don't know. Should we make characters? That I've been thinking about this, man. Maybe we should develop some
Like Mickey Mouse?
like WWE, like some ridiculous, this like the Undertaker and Kane.
Okay.
Like that.
We create our own personalities.
Some duo.
We create our own Liver King, Andrew Tate personas.
Yeah,
man. The manosphere right-wing grift is the easiest thing to make money off of.
Yeah, just take advantage of dumb people.
Yeah. Who said that?
What? A lot of people.
Oh,
probably.
no, Donald Trump said that.
Oh.
This was a long time ago, like maybe in the 90s, when he was asked if he would ever run for president. And this was when he was calling himself a Democrat. And he said, if I were to ever run for president, I would run as a Republican because they're dumb.
I remember him saying that.
I could probably find that quote and throw it up on screen.
Whatever. I mean, I don't know. I just thought it'd be... I feel like the more and more shit I see on the internet nowadays, I feel like nothing's real anymore. And people make successful careers off of these fucking fake-ass characters where...
Yeah.
If this person would have just had made a normal YouTube channel with their own normal self, it would have been nothing.
Imagine instead of Liver King, it's Brian Johnson, the dentist,
who kind of works out and eats liver sometimes. No way, man. The Liver King is something different.
Yeah.
And I also think about that. I think about this all the time, but the fat Mountain Dew kid. You drank my Mountain Dew? You know what I mean? That guy from Vines years ago. I don't even know what he's doing nowadays.
Boogie 2988.
Is he? I mean, YouTube. That's probably his YouTube, right?
That was his YouTube. He actually recently lost all of his money to a crypto scheme.
No.
He put everything.
FTX.
And he put out a video saying, reaching out to his fans, saying like, "Please join my Patreon. I've lost everything I have, and I'm gonna lose my house." Well, so he messed up too.
Well, I can't help you there. But the reason I brought him up is because for the longest time I thought that was a real person.
Yeah.
I thought he was just a...
Yeah, he has that character.
Somebody's filming this guy.
I forget what the character's name is.
And he actually spent all his money on Pokemon Go.
Right.
Going around with
in
the
his
Uber driver.
Yeah, in his Uber drivers, yeah.
I mean, you hear that, and I'm laughing hysterically. It makes no sense. He's paying all this money for the Uber. He thinks he's friends with the Uber driver.
Yeah.
I mean, what a
chance.
Beautiful skit, though.
Right.
Come to find out, it's all fake.
Oh, I was convinced that it was real.
I know.
I was convinced it was real.
And it's actually a well-written out skit.
Yeah.
I'm impressed by it, and even though, like, typically I'm more impressed by people that take care of themselves. You know what I mean? But he went with it. He's like, fuck, this is me, and how can I... play off the people's emotions.
Dude, he went on this podcast a while ago, back when he was bigger and he was like trying to lose weight. And he was talking about an ex-girlfriend he had who was a feeder. You know what that means?
No. Well, I know what it means when it's like a fish you throw in the tank.
Yeah. No, this girl, his ex-girlfriend, was... wanted him to get as big as he possibly could, and she would just feed him and feed him and feed him. And he told a story about how she shoved a bunch of maraschino cherries into her pussy and made him eat them out of her.
That's where popping the cherry came from?
Yeah, from him. from Boogie 2988. It's called chewing and swallowing the cherry.
Oh no!
He has since gotten
that's called cherry pie
surgery, and
he's my cherry pie.
He's still really big, but he did lose some weight. And there's a video out recently of someone had live streamed themselves going and knocking on his door, and he answers the door with a gun in his hand and is like pointing it at the guy. Boogie 2988's a weirdo, dude.
Well, I've also actually heard some negative thing because he had like a whole media team. and I heard the whole team hated him.
Right.
Just couldn't stand him, and he's obviously on his high horse. And whatever. Obviously, I'm the fucking creative genius behind this, and you're my fucking slaves. Like, yeah, that's one thing, man. It's getting money and getting fame, and then what? How do you handle that fucking shit?
Yeah, you have to stack as much cash as you can in the first couple of years before. Well,
that's actually one of Andrew Tate's
tenants.
One of his business steps is whatever business you get into. He says you have to prepare that nothing's going to last forever.
Right.
And while you're making the money, hide it.
Yeah.
That was
hide it.
That's what he said, man. He's like, because you don't know if. And that was probably the fucking cam girl business thing. I think he said when he started that he was making a bunch of money, but he didn't save it, and he fucking spent it all and shit. And they said now he wishes he would have invested it more or something like that.
For sure.
I'm pretty sure that's why he brought that up. Not that he was taking advantage of these women, more just that he wished he would have spent the money better.
I wish I would have saved the money I got from exploiting people.
God, I wouldn't believe the money I made off those buttholes. And then I just wasted it on nice cars.
Bugattis.
You know how many Bugattis I have? I just want another Lamborghini, okay? What's the other car? He's got one other one he always talks about.
I don't know. Man. Well, feel pretty good about our first outdoor podcast.
Look at that, man. That wasn't bad. We got the mountains in the background.
Maybe you guys can see those. We'll see what the exposure is like on.
I'm sure nobody's going to see this. None of the audio probably works. We probably didn't even hit the record button.
I'm very worried about the audio. But
and to tell you the truth, they won't even know. Tonight, we're going to check out a club. We're joining a club we heard about. Wish us luck, though. There was no details about. No details. It said the Sunday Sinners Club. And, we thought, we've been trying to make friends. It's just us all the time. We need to get out there, be more outgoing.
And I don't even
join a club.
Him. I just am desperate for human connection.
And so we're going to be a little more outgoing tonight and check out the Sunday Sinners Club. Hopefully we meet some friends. I don't know. Maybe some Livery King Andrew Tate fans.
We'll see.
The description literally said music is dead, but we are too or something, or inside.
Music for the mutually dead inside. So I'm going to paint my fingernails black and.
Yeah, we're going to get into it, man.
We're going to get into it a bit.
Maybe we found something. You know what? Don't knock it till you try it. Okay?
All right. Well, wish us luck.
Sunday Sinners Club tonight.
Sorry about the sounds of cars and airplanes. And
random hikers.
Random people walking up to us. We're at the very end of a closed trail.
Oh, dude, this might be the last podcast of the year.
This is the last podcast
2022, yo. Closing it out.
I don't even get back until January 3rd.
Fuck, man. We've closed out a year of podcasts. How wild. Did we change at all? I feel like a different person.
My hair is longer.
You grew your hair out, which is different.
If you made it to the end, that means the audio I thought it was good enough to post. So please like the video, even if the audio was garbage. And
thanks to all of our sponsors we don't have.
We'll see you in 2023.
Hit us up if you want to sponsor us.
You ever try a fleshlight?
Dude, don't get me started. If they
okay, we're done.